Hello.
Hello, yes.
Are you in?
I'm trying to get in, but I can't get my background screen in.
Well, that's probably not going to work.
Oh gosh. Well, you can see behind me is my green screen. All right, so we'll just do the best that we can. Has the recording started?
Yes, I think so. You have to come. I don't see your camera.
All right, here we go.
You have to hit it on the side.
See, all you can see is my green screen.
That's okay. That's okay. So I don't see any people because it's the session that started. So I'm just going to follow your lead.
Well, hello, Tammy Watson, the visionary and author of the Vision Within book. So happy to be on this call with you again today. Girl, you are doing it. You are changing so many lives, and I can just see that book going into every office and sitting on every desk and around the water fountains. People are talking about
I lost you. Okay. So we're waiting for Dr. Hash to come back in. So let's see. She's coming back in. Let's see. We'll just wait until she come back in. But again, my name is Tammy Watson, and I am the owner of the Vision Book Club that we just started back in June of 2020. So God gave me a vision about 2018 to design a vision board, and in designing the vision board, he had me to put 12 areas of my life on the vision board. And so I began to write my vision board and start dealing with some areas of who I wanted to look like in the 12 areas of my life. And so where I got that from my coach. Her name is Danny Johnson, where she teaches you how to be it personally. And so once I started putting my vision board together, which I started with the spiritual part, and I went on into different areas that I wanted to look like in for 2019. And once I put that book together, wait a minute, I think she's trying to come in. Let's see. There she go. Let's see. She's not back on. Oh, she's not on. Well, anyway, so just to kind of like tell you a little bit about how the Vision Within book got started. So I started putting my vision board together in the 12 areas of my life, and started off with the spiritual part, and then I went to the personal part. And in the spiritual part, I put in there the mental health, what type of mind I want to have, and started writing down, speaking over my life and what I want to look like. And I put the physical health in there, about my body, how I felt and how I want to feel. And I remember that I would not have energy whatsoever. And so I started putting those things in on the vision board. And I had on there, I had 2019, I want to play to win in 2019. And what I found out that in writing the vision board, I I was focusing on just specific areas of my life. And one of those areas were finance and just my business. And then I began to see that I wasn't being a complete person and spiritual. So let me go back to spiritual piece. So I began to see that I wasn't being a complete whole person. So then I really started focus on 12 areas and I set it on this huge big board. And I remember looking at on the spiritual part, I put in, and one day I'm gonna take those pictures and show everyone so people can kind of get a visual so they can understand why is it so important for you to balance your life out and work 12 areas of your life. There she go.
Of
You're
all
back.
days that they're working on the lines in our community, the power just went blank. But you know, this is Florida. I'm down here in Miami where it rains every day, it storms or something just about every day. So something is constantly going on. But I'm back now. So let's just pick up where we left off, Tammy. Well, and seriously, I don't want that book to just be another book. And I know that you didn't write it just to be another book, because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of books in every bookstore all over the world. But you were inspired by your creators, if you want to call it God, but the supernatural were inspired you to write that book because you knew that people needed to have a blueprint. They needed to have a guide to help them position their lives and align themselves to purpose and to passion, because we're not just on this earth just to be here. We're only here for a little bit of time. So while we're here, we need to learn how to maximize that time. And this is why I know you. I've been knowing you for over 30 years. I know that's why you wrote that book, because you love people and you want to see the best in people. And so God inspired you to write that book and put those different topics in every area of all of our lives, no matter how old we are or how young we are. I hope young people get that book in their hands at an early time in their lives so that they don't have to go through a lot of the problems that adults have had to go through because they didn't have a blueprint, because they didn't have a guide to help them get through a lot of the hardships of life. Because life is life. You know, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but God delivers us from them all. So your book is one of those delivering pieces of substance that people can have in their hands. They can have it on their nightstands, in their bedrooms. They can have it on their desks, in their offices. And that book can go into shelters and teach those women that they do have purpose. That book can go into prisons. There are over 200,000 women who are in prisons here in the United States. Every one of them, I hope they get that book, The Vision Within, in their hands, and it will change their lives. And so I just applaud you for hearing from God, from taking action. You know, a lot of times we all get great ideas, but we don't move out on them. But you did, Tammy Watson. And you did, and you made it happen. You hung in there. I mean, sometimes I know it was hard trying to birth that vision, but you went ahead and you took the pains and you birthed that baby. And now we have this beautiful book that's just not another book, but it is a tool, it's a blueprint. And I know I'm going on and on and on and on, but I'm so proud of you for having the tenacity to create a tool like that. The Vision Within book, the book club, and our book, instead of just a poster that most people end up having, but you have created a book. So you treat that book almost like a Bible, that it is your guide for your life, for every aspect of your life. So I'll stop babbling and let you take over and let you talk and tell everybody about the book. Oh, and before I do, I'm just honored also to be a part of this Winston-Salem Fashion Week that's been going on for 6 years now. This is the 6th year, 2020. And so I'm so proud of that visionary too, Nikita Wallace, who hung in there against all odds and fought to make her dream become a reality. It's not easy to birth a dream, but it takes a lot of gut, a lot of tenacity. It takes a lot of just knowing that that you heard from God. It takes a lot of just hanging in there against all odds when other people may not believe in you or may not understand why you're doing what you're doing, but you hang in there anyway. So I applaud those powerful women like you and like Nikita. You go. See, you all are young girls. I've been through a lot. So I'm at that stage now where I can look at you all and just be so proud of you that you got that tenacity. So tell us about your book, Tammy Watson.
First of all, Dr. Hash, I just want to say Nikita and I would not be here if we didn't have trailblazers. And you, one of the trailblazers that has come into our life, that speaks over our life and help us to create vision. Because we have seen you take something that was a nothing into where we are today at St. Peter's World Outreach Center. And so we want to applaud you for you having vision for what you seen the vision that your dad had, you and Pastor, and y'all took it and y'all birthed it out. So I say blessings and kudos to the Hash family because you all have birthed so much in other people. You birthed faith into their life. You birthed the word of God into their life. So we want to just applaud you for who you are as Dr. Hash, because you have birthed out many books. And I would not be here if I didn't have you in my life to speak into my life, to talk to me where I'm at. I just want to start off and say thank you for that.
Oh, girl, you have me crying.
So yes, I just sit there and I think, and I was trying to kind of give my story of how the book got started. It actually started 12 years ago. What do you mean 12 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
It started 12 years ago when I made a decision to change my life.
Yeah.
Deep within the inside of me, bring out what is already there. That it was a time that I didn't even know that I could bring out something to help somebody because my life went through so much turmoil from the childhood up until I was 40 when I started myself. And so this is when it started. So I want to say to anyone that is listening that it birthed today. It started 12 years ago when I started changing my mind and I wanted to walk out my salvation. Hey, about the word of God, and the word of God says to walk out your salvation. This is what we're talking about, looking inside of yourself and looking at areas in your life that you can make some changes to have an alignment, line up to what God has already birthed inside of you. Sometimes we hear people say to us, Dr. Francine Hash, I don't know what my purpose is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
And say that. How could I find out what my purpose is? And they go here to this person, to that person, and they go to others, they go to everybody trying to find out what this is. And I always like to say, when God decided for that seed and that egg to come together, he had already told you that what your purpose was going to be on earth. So when you were born, the purpose was already there. And it had to be what? It had to be cultivated. But in the cultivation part of it, all kind of stuff tried to stop that what was destined to be brought on this earth. First of all, so when you begin to get that in your life and begin to see, understand that is already there, that it needed to be cultivated, need to be birthed out. So the vision within came from God. And he 12 years ago, that 12 years to go today, that we were going to be birthing a vision and helping people to cultivate vision, to dig with inside of them to pull it already out.
Absolutely.
And so that's how the book got birthed. So I want people to understand that I made changes in my life. And what did I make? One, I began to develop a relationship with God. I began to come to know who He is and how did I do that? I began to study His Word. So that was the thing that had happened to me to cultivate where I'm at today. So I always like to tell my story. Everybody's story is different. Everybody has their own spiritual experience that you can share. But this is my personal experience because I want people to understand it doesn't matter what you believe, you all have a spiritual experience. And the thing that you have to do is to dig in what is on the inside of you. So when I talk, I'm talking from my experience. And in my experience that I'm talking from, I want you to be able to dig into yourself and pull out what's already there that needs to be birthed out. Now, some people believe, some people believe that we were born from God, and some people don't believe it. But I am not here to debate that. But what I am here to say, we all are a being. And when we die, our spirit leaves the body, and our body goes to dust. And I think that we all can agree to that. So, birthing out the Vision Within book, one of the things that it happened to me in 2018, and I think I really share this with you, Dr. Hatch. For the 12 years when I started working with my life coach, Danny Johnson, she would say to me every year, it's going to be your year. And I did not believe it. See, in creating vision, you have unbeliefs, okay, that you have to delete files out. So I had some files in my head that I could not.
Tammy, this is so important what you want to say, what you're saying. I want everybody to be sure and hear this. Something's going on with your volume. Maybe you need to move a little bit or change your direction or something, and it's going in and out. So this is important. I want everybody to be able to hear this, and I hope we're recording because this is powerful. Every time I hear you tell your story, it gets deeper and deeper and more inspiring. I remember while you're getting your that together. I remember when I came back to North Carolina and I came around you, of course, because you always help me find a house, apartment, whatever. You've always been my real estate agent. And I remember telling you, Tammy, there's something different about you now. You have grown so much, just matured and developed. And I could see that in you, your prayer life. You know, you were trying to get me up at 4:30 in the morning. I didn't create my body like that. I used to beat myself up because I just wasn't one of those early morning praying people. But then I heard Joyce Myers teach a lesson on early for me is the way my body chemistry is. So 8 o'clock in the morning is early for me because that's how God created my body. And I had to stop beating myself up because I could not get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. But you were doing that. You were doing that. And I don't know how long you've been doing that, but I saw the change in your whole life, your glow on you, the way you try to love everybody in spite of when little jealousies and little things would spur up, but you would just keep loving. You would just keep on being kind. You would just keep on keeping on. So jump back in there to your story but I know I was with you. I remember back 12 years ago when you started this journey, and I can see how it has really paid off from that day to now. So jump back in there and keep telling about your inspiring story.
Yeah. So could you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you. I hear you now.
Maybe, I like to move and I put my whole body into my expression. So you can feel, who I am, because now we have to live our life behind a camera. And so the purpose of this is getting you to feel the experience so you can be able yourself to tap into your true you. But yeah, getting back to my story, so Danny will say to me every year that this is your year. And because I had so many fouls that wasn't beliefs that I didn't believe who I were. I didn't think that I was qualified to be either worthy enough to speak. And so she would say it every year. And I tell you, the 10th year after her speaking those seeds for my life, I started believing in myself. And then I was that person, didn't know what my purpose were. And then I got it. And then it became to me, my purpose was just to be obedient to what God says do. And then I started saying, well, what do you want me to do? And I tell you, I never thought in all of my days that I would say I'm a vision coach. Because I've been a real estate agent all of my life for the last 28 years of my life. And I thought that was my passion, but that was just my work. That's just my being an entrepreneur, but that wasn't my I want people to understand, you have a job and you have a purpose. Okay. And so so she will speak to me. I remember when I was in Israel at the Galilee and looking over Galilee and just working on myself, because she would say this experience is not an experience for friends to be here, but this is to have a daddy and a daughter relationship with God. And I remember her saying that. And so I was like, okay. I was humble enough to be teachable to be able to do that. And so that's when I really got it, 2018. And she will talk to me about vision, putting vision board together, your 12 areas. I mean, she would have 7. I came up with the 12. Okay. She would have areas of your life. And so then I said, okay, I'm going to really put my vision board together. I'm really going to work on this thing. And so when I began to work on it, I said, okay, well, I'm going to put it in 12 areas of my life. And so then I came up with the 12 areas of what it needs to look like. Wasn't even thinking about it at all. I just wanted to look at those things and work on those things in my life. And so I put the board together, and I was like, I believe what the word of God said in Habakkuk 2 is to write the vision, make it plain. Okay. And he said, that read it, run with it, right? You may run it. And then he went on and says that it may seem like is not, I don't have the scripture in front of me.
Though it tarries, wait for it will surely come. Yes.
That's right. That's right. And so that was so important to me. because I started like truly, truly following the word and following the principles and the laws in the Bible. So when he speaks, I really listen to what he says. So that came dear to me about that. So when that came dear to me about that, I would take that with me everywhere I went. So we only place I could take it with me was on the airplane. And that made me feel so bad because I couldn't look at that board and look at it. And I will actually go to the spiritual piece. I will go to the fun piece or my personal development piece and look at all that how my business, what I call, what I wanted to have. I will look at all those things. And so then it came to me that I should do a book, put a book together because I can open up the book and then I can look at it. Then it came to me, speak over those things, and I will look at my book every day, reading the Bible, cover to cover, understanding who God is, developing a strong prayer life. I will put those, then I will go to the part of health, I never exercise. Being consistent into exercising and working on yourself and eating healthy. I never did. Okay. All right. And then I put it in there. I had all my kids and their pictures of what I want to call them forth. Now, in the midst of all of this is when my son the enemy tried to attack my son for him to get in trouble. Think about this, Dr. Hash. If I have him on that vision board and speaking over his life, and I had words around them and saying, patient, love, patient, and calling forth who they are, that he will be number one, he will be the best. Speaking over my grandchildren's life and speaking over their life. I actually had them and looking at their pictures and that unity, we will have unity, love, joy, and peace over our life. And I would say that they will have the right mind. They will make good decisions. Their minds will be clutter. It will be stable. I will speak over their life. Think about what would happen. You don't know. My son was accused of rape, and he didn't rape a girl. If I did not put into the spiritual part, I'm a prayer and laying hands and praying over her children's life.
Yeah.
My son would have been girl today. And so I had that vision. Life came, didn't destroy.
Yes, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but God delivers us from them all. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So when I seen that happen, then I started looking over my vision board, what transpired and what had happened. Because I got to put this in the book and I got to share people about how they can manifest things happen. And the most important thing is when life hits, you won't be distracted.
Right.
And you fall into the traps of the enemy that you protected.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how the vision within started. And then it went from being just an ideal to a vision book club to a developing a vision within book to be able to be in the hands of other people around the world in the jail system. You're talking about professional ball players because we all understand we have vision. And then he gave me see it, say it, believe it, and do it. See yourself in 2020. He gave that to me. And guess what? We had the people that has been in the Vision Book Club and has developed before we even had a book, they have developed It may not have been all the 12 areas in their life, but they have picked out something. Like Devorah, her testimony, she tells me, because she joined the Vision Book Club, she began to get a clear mindset of her business. She went through a rough time of her life having cancer, but guess what? It did not defeat her. She began to get vision of her life. And today she has built 4 people on her team, and she is making 6 figures and running her own financial company.
Mm-hmm.
And we say
Yeah.
that's a great
Yes.
testimony.
Mm-hmm.
She just started her podcast. I'm just like, wow.
And that's the great thing, because for the last couple of months or so, I know when you first started out, you had no idea God was going to take this Vision Book Club to the point where it is now. And now, when I look on Facebook, I see so many of the people who had attended your Tuesday nights, was it Mondays and Tuesday nights started out, and then it changed, sessions that are now taking that giant step, like Deborah. Is it Deborah? Yeah.
Devorah.
Yeah, like her, who was getting ready to do her podcast and all, and so many people, Cynthia Dixon, and just so many people now are stepping out. I'm coming out again too, back next year. I'm gonna wait to next quarter, next year, first quarter next year. But yeah, that because they were inspired by the sessions that you were conducting every week. Little old Tammy Watson from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. But look how God has used you to be that voice, to be that hand, to reach out there and tell everybody, come on now, come on. God has put a vision inside of you. Now let's make that vision become a reality. And now we see it manifesting. It's happening in so many people's lives. You know, people have to get past that. Oh, that's just Tammy. But there's a scripture in the Bible. See, home people don't always, what the Bible say, a prophet is without honor in his own home. And then the Bible also, and I'm always quoting scripture, so y'all just bear with me. I'm a preacher's kid. And it says, upon those gifts that are seemingly less honorable, it's upon those gifts you should bestow more honor. So even the person that you least expect would be that person that's been the leader to bring vision into people's lives. Look how God is using Tammy, a Winston-Salem native, using her to touch lives all over the world. I'm in Miami, Florida. There have been people on those calls from international, global people that have been Brazil. I can't even remember so many different states and countries that have been on those calls every Tuesday night, and I could just see their faces, how they were getting those aha moments. But Tammy, that came because you heard from God. Suppose you hadn't heard from God and ventured out and did this. Oh, and I want you to talk a little bit about some of the other topics in your book, like friendship. You put that in there. Relationships. Yeah, if you are a blended family with stepchildren, had children before you got married, and now you're blending your children together. You put all of those things in that book. Talk about that a little bit too.
Well, the 12 principle is basically is to make you a whole, complete person. Think about things that you have not thought about to make you a balanced person. That's the most important thing. So yeah, the piece that we put in is the extended family piece. And with the extended family, we want you to be able to sit back, undo some frictions or some beliefs or some things that probably have caused some relationship friction. Okay. And to undo those things and to be able to write what you want to happen. Some people can't write it because they don't have a relationship with their sister or their brother. They may not have a relationship with their mother. That's not what life is all about. You was not created to have bad relationships. You was created for love. You was created for kindness. You was created for joy. You was created for patience,
Mhm.
created for self-control. And you have to be able to line that up in your life when it comes to this extended family. So those who do not have a great relationship with your mother, you have to find out why and come back to that and have a vision on what that's supposed to look like.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? When
Mhm.
it comes to blended family, somebody has got married and they consider themselves a stepmother. And because you're taking care of somebody else's child, because you got married and y'all blended your family together, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a blended family, or this is my child and this is not my child? Or you see them that God has brought you to be a blessing,
Mhm.
a mother over that what He has given you in your household?
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Change your mindset and call those and those what's that scripture for?
All those things that are not as though they were. Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
so when it comes to that, you want to journal what that looks like and what you want it to look like. Then you visualize it. Maybe you get a picture of you, the two of y'all speaking, communicating. I'm looking at it that I will communicate with my mother. I will have a good relationship with my mother. Or my children, these are my kids and they are precious and they are blessed. I am a blessed to be in their life. They're a blessing to be in my life,
Yes.
to the extended family, and having pictures of smiles and joy over those kids and getting pictures of you visualizing that in your mind so that when reality come, that's what it is.
Mhm.
So you taking some non-reality
Mhm. Mhm.
to
Yes.
reality.
With loving kindness have I drawn him. Yes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So that's
Mhm.
some of the parts that
Yes.
I have
Yes.
added that we have in that book so that you can be able to write that vision. And so once you get it written, then you have action steps that you do and you go work on those things.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes. Yes. Awesome. See, it's a blueprint. It's
Mhm.
a guide. And we all need it. I don't care how old we are or how young we are. We need a God. We need a blueprint. God brings us out of baby heaven and brings us here on this earth, and we don't know anything except what we've been exposed to or what our parents have told us. And if the parents did not have someone to speak into their lives to tell them how to get through life, guess what? They just act like the rest of the world do, fight and fuss and curse and bicker and always looking for me, selfish and all of those kind of character traits. And so then they resort to trying to find other things that's going to bring peace to them. The drink, the alcohol, or the drugs, and all the different addictions, food, and things that trying to bring comfort to our lives. When we were created by God, nothing will ever fill that place in our heart, in our lives, until we acknowledge that we were created by God and that we are on this earth for a little bit of time that we're here, 85 years the most, to serve Him, to be His voice, to be His arms of love, to speak positive, healing words into people's lives. So we have to get out of ourselves, change that mindset, as Tammy said. Get out of ourselves. Get away from me. And we have to tell ourselves that sometimes so that we really can lock in to what we're really here on this earth. to do and to be, because we're only here for just a little bit of time, a little bit of time. And so eventually, by going using that map, by using that blueprint, you'll start seeing the shackles fall off of you. You'll start seeing shackles fall off of your personality. And wow, I didn't know I was like that. You'll start having those aha moments and say, you know what? I do need to change that about myself. I thought it was the other person, but no, it was really me that needed to change. It's me, it's me, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. And then you start confessing it about yourself, and you just start seeing yourself grow stronger, stronger, and wiser and wiser. Tammy, speak about how important it is to change your playground. I remember 12 years ago, when you started just traveling all over the world, traveling and being all just everywhere. I know a lot of people probably thought Tammy was crazy because traveling all over the world, following this business coach. Talk about how important it is to change your environment, change the people that you're around.
Well, the thing is, Dr. Hash, the first of all, I had to make a decision that within myself that it didn't matter what people thought, because it was about me and myself. So I made a decision to invest into my life. So I have spent millions of dollars investing into me to be who I am today. So what that looks like? Well, I was a gospel about people. I allowed people to dictate who I were as a person. I was easily to be offended. I didn't trust people. Had a lot of pain and hurt from my past, of things that I went through from childhood. And so those things that was inside of me, but I made a commitment that I wanted to change my life and to remove those things that I experienced growing up when I was 40 years old, because I started working on myself at 40. And so when people thought I was crazy, at first it bothered me, but it didn't. I lost friends, but that was okay, because at the time it wasn't even about them, it was about me and about God. So that was the first thing. I made a decision that I was going to work on myself. And when I started working on myself, I was focusing on me, growing me, who I am today. I used to work on Wall Street. I didn't go to college. I didn't finish college. But what I found out, that college is just another piece of education. And so my education was personal growth. And that's where I went to go get a degree in personal growth and working up in every area of my life.
And it broadened your life too, because you made friends. Now you have friends all over the world. You can pick up the phone and just call different people that came from different cultures, different backgrounds. And as a result of getting in those environments, it has expanded your world, your life. And I even remember when you started taking your children too with you, because you wanted your children to be exposed to more. It's wonderful to live in a small town, a good place to educate your kids and raise your children, have a good church to go to. But if you don't venture out from that, your world becomes very, very small. And God created a beautiful, beautiful earth for us to enjoy. And so you started taking your children on vacations. You started taking them out of the country. I see you didn't know I was watching you, but I was watching you, and I knew what you were doing to expand your horizon, you and your husband, to expand your children's horizon, because you wanted them to experience more and to see more, because when you do that, they can think broader. They're not narrow-minded when they can know how to, and your children do. They never meet a stranger. They talk to anybody, especially Crystal. and so they have friends now from all over the country because you did that. You took them out of just a little comfort zone and took them into the world. And the vision book talks about those kinds of things with your children. And that's why that book is so important, because as we keep saying, we keep using the word, it's a roadmap. It's a blueprint, because as simple as we think it is, some people just don't know what to do. They want to do, but they don't know what to do. They want to build a better relationship with, maybe they're in a blended family, or with their friends, or with their parents, but they don't know how. So the book is a blueprint to show you how, what you need to do. It's as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that's what I always told Tammy: take a lot of pictures, take those happy moments. So, and leave them. Don't just leave them in your camera, or leave them in a book, but get them in a frame and put them up. You remember, Tammy, we had that conversation. Put them in a frame. Put your pretty happy pictures around, because subliminally your family see those happy moments, and they will feel that happy moment again when they look at just pass down the hallway and look at those happy pictures. So the vision book within is just something that was dropped right out of heaven.
It definitely were.
For this time, for such a time as this. And I say that because I remember when I wrote my first book, I said, who in the world's going to read my book? All these thousands and thousands and millions of books in the bookstores. But then someone taught me too that God inspired you to write that book, and there's somebody waiting to hear your story. And so I owe it to whoever those people are to write this book so they can read my story. So God knows exactly who's going to be reading the vision within. And I love that the quote that you had, be the author. I may not be saying it right. Be the author of your life. Is that how? Did I say it right?
So the thing is, with the vision book, you're designing your life.
Yes.
So reading the vision is reading your book, because you're going to work through each section of the book, and you're going to design, you're going to journal. Okay. Journal is very important. The reason why journal is very important, because it gets you to think, it gets you to write truly who you are and what's in your life. So you get to journal, you get to write, you get to put pictures. After you journal, you get to see it, you get to put the pictures down. And then in there, you get to speak over what you want to happen. So then you get to write, speak over it, and then you get to write action step to make it happen, to make it matter. And so you get to be the author of your life. It is a tool that you put in your hand that allows you to design your life. And then what it does is it allows you to read it. It allows you to make it simple. It's a very practical book. It's nothing, it's so deep. It's you working on yourself. And so I have. And so this is why we have Dr. Hash. We first have put the book together, put the workbook together, okay? Then what we had created on how to create your vision book. And then we're going to have other books that's going to come out of it, because we have many books that we get and we read, but we never design in our life. And one of the things that I love about you, Dr. Francine Hash, which we're going to do on the Vision Book Club, is how to write your story.
Yes.
Bring that in quickly, because people need to have vision and they need to hear how to write their story, so you can be able to create it here. And then in your action steps, okay, you get to pull it out. You get to carry it with you. You get to look at it. And then from concept to manifestation for you to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. So this is what this book is all about. It's not about me. It's about you designing your life. And it's tools to put in your hand, to write it down, to confess it, to look at it every single day.
And you know, I'm so happy that you put your picture on the front and the back of the book because it's very inspiring to young girls and other women to see the boldness that your pictures project. And
Mhm.
yeah, so the words are powerful on the front of the book, but your body language on the front and the back of the book is also very, very projects a very positive message. It's energetic. I really love that, and I'm so happy you did. And I hope this doesn't offend anyone. But as you go through most bookstores, you don't see very many Black women or African American women examples in the books on the shelves. So that's why I applaud you for putting your picture on the front and the back of your book so that our young girls, when they go into the bookstores and libraries, they'll see examples, someone who looks like them. And because I remember when I started becoming an author, that conversation came up. Well, don't put your picture on there because people don't buy books for Black people. And that's why I put my picture on my books because I wanted young people, especially, and other women of color, I wanted to be an example. I wanted them to see somebody that looked like them on the bookshelf. And so now through Barnes and Noble and Amazon, and you can get Tammy's book just about anywhere that books are sold now. And you can get all of my books just about anywhere books are sold because we were bold enough to just start writing. And as Tammy just said, there's going to be more books because something about it. Once you go ahead and birth that first baby, God's going to inspire you to write another one and write another one. And that's how it happened with me after my first book in 2005. And God inspired me to write that book. And I use the word inspired a lot because we can go to college and get a lot of book knowledge, a lot of education. But when you learn to hear from your creator and let him talk to you and learn how to commune with him, and you start hearing things that, wow, and you start writing those things down. Then when you go back and look at that book and look at what you've written, you say, well, how did that come out of me? That came out of you because you learned how to commune with your creator. You learned how to commune with God. You learned how to listen to the small, still, quiet voices in the middle of the night or as you're driving down the highway and you started writing. And then you get in front of your computer, you just start typing and writing. And when you go back and read it yourself, it inspires you because you didn't know that you had it within you. But we were created by him and for him. So doesn't it just make sense that if we learn to communicate with our God, if we learn to communicate with our creator, he's going to speak through us and tell us what to write. So yes, that's why I started doing the workshops on how to write your book. Everyone has a story. And especially when I started going into the shelters and hearing the stories of the ladies there, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful women, except for Grace, it could have been one of us in the shelter. And when you start hearing their stories, and then they realize, wow, God was there all the time, even though when they were being beaten, when they were living under a bridge, or just being put out of their homes or whatever, God was still there. But if you don't know that, then you'll just be like the rest of the world. You'll resort to alcohol and all the addictions to try to find your peace. So I thank you so much for listening to God, Tammy, to write that book. That book has an anointing on it. That book is a healing tool that people will have in their hands. I feel the anointing of God come upon me as I talk about it.
Well, Dr. Hash, one of the things that I see, and I believe this book is a blueprint for, like you said, for people's life. The vision book within, when God gave Moses, told him to go to the top of the mountain. And he told him to take the tablet and hold it up. And God, in that book, and gave us rules and principles on how to live our life on earth. This book will give you principles how to live your life on this earth and to balance, to be to balance your life out. And when distraction come, your mind will not default to the distraction. It will default to the vision that you have for your life.
Yeah, yes, yes, that's it. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Because when you think about the infinity of time, no one knows the beginning of time nor the end of time. You know, only God knows that. And so, even though, scientists have gone and said that Earth is what, over 300 million years, but it was there before that. When you think about uh, men going to the moon, when they get to the moon, they look up and it's still more heavens. No man has ever reached the top. No human has ever reached the bottom. Now, come on now. Nothing but something supernatural, which we call God, could have created the stars and the moon and the sky and the sunshine and the planets and the meteors and the oceans and all the animals at the bottom of the ocean. No human could have ever done that. Had to be something supernatural. So here we come out of baby heaven for about, and I think the average lifespan now is 85 years old. Some live longer than that, but 85. So that 85 comes around real, real fast. That's my mom and dad. That came around so fast. And most people don't find their vision or find their purpose, Tammy, until they get well in their late 40s or 50s. They've already lived 2/3 of their life.
Mm.
And so life beat them up too during those years because they're trying to be in love and have a marriage and divorce and having kids and having to go through all the teenage problems and all the different things that happens to us in life. So actually it takes us about 40 years being on this earth when we find, I think you said you were 40 when you just came to that point where you wanted to start working on you. And so here we are. There has to be a purpose, or why else after the infinity of time, out billions and billions of years that Earth has been in existence. Not even talking about the other planets, because Earth is one of the young planets. The other planets are older than Earth, and that's scientifically proven. So out of the billions and billions of years that we've been, that Earth has been in existence, and here we come on Earth for a little 85 years. That's less than a snap of a finger of time. So it behooves us to stop, take a look at ourselves. Stop, get this kind of a book in your hands. Get that vision book in your hands. Work on yourself. We don't have just a little bit of time here on Earth. Get busy about your Father's business. Get busy. Tammy has taken the time to write this blueprint, to write this map for us. So all the excuses are taken away. All you need to do is just go get that book, order that book off of Amazon. Hold the book up again, Tammy, so everybody can see what they're ordering. They can get that off of Amazon. You can contact Tammy on Facebook. She has a YouTube channel. Where else, Tammy, can they go find that book?
Vision.
Where is it?
Visionbook.com.
Visionbook.com from the website. See?
I'm sorry.
Visionbookclub.com. Just put Tammy Watson in there and you'll find and you'll find it. Just Google her, you'll find it. And even if when you go into Amazon.com, just go in the search button and put Tammy Watson's name up there and her book will pop up and you'll be able to see how to order her book. And I encourage you to start a local chapter, to start in your groups that you already have. Buy enough books for your whole group. 12 if you have 12 people or in your group, or you have a women's club in your churches or wherever, and get that book and use that book as a tool to help women find their purpose. See, I can speak to that, Tammy, because I'm a preacher's kid. I've come from 4 generations, and the average person sitting in the church who's been born and raised in the church all their life. I don't say this to be a negative, but they still don't know purpose. They still don't understand purpose. And they've got caught up into what other people think that they should do or be, but they have never really stopped to align themselves to what their creator put them on this earth to be. So that's why that book, The Vision Within book, needs to be in every church, every women's club. It needs to be in every hotel, sitting just like the Gideon Bible is sitting on that nightstand in every hotel. That book needs to be in there too. So it needs to be under every corner, because that's why we have the opiate crisis here on this earth. People are looking for answers, and so they taking popping pills trying to find peace and joy and happiness, and they're never going to find it in the pills. It just causes an addiction, but they will find it when they learn how to communicate with their creator. And the Vision Within book is going to take them there and show them how. So Tammy, I'm so proud of you. I see Nikita has been joining in. Nikita, again, I'm so proud of you too, the visionary that has launched out here and has formed and organized the Winston-Salem Fashion Week. All the people that it takes to pull something like this off, and especially this year with COVID-19, having to do everything virtual, but you still doing it, girl. You still pulling it off. And I'm so, so proud of you. You have given all the local fashion designers an opportunity to make their vision become a reality. They may not get to go to California or go to New York, but you have set that platform for their visions. I remember looking at some of the purses that they had designed, and some of the scarves that they had designed, and some of the fabric to make dresses and so forth that they had designed. It was just a fascinating world to see the visions of all of the people that you're giving a platform to make their vision become a reality. So you girls, I'm so proud of my girls. I'm so proud of you, Tammy.
No, thank you.
And I'm so proud of you, Nikita. Y'all just continue being inspired. You all continue to reach out and help others. Just know that you are the hand of God on earth. You're the voice of God on earth. And no matter what anybody say, don't let anything stop you. Don't let anybody stop you. God makes provisions for his vision. And so if this vision is coming from him, you're just the source that he's working through. And so I encourage you to just keep going, never let go, never let go. Well, Miss Tammy, what are you going to do next? I know right now you are coaching. You didn't talk about your coaching program.
Well, the next thing, I don't know why I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, you are getting feedback.
Yeah, so
talk about your coaching program.
Well, the next thing, we're going to start our coaching program on October the 18th, where right now we have about 7 people have signed up. I had 2 to sign up today. That is going to be coming aboard, and we're going to work through the vision book together and designing it and creating it. We have about under 3 months left in this year. And so we all have decided that we're going to come together to stay focused, and we're going to sit down and we're going to create our vision so we can be ready for 2021 to come in. And so a lot of people decide they're not going to, focus on what's going on in the world with the election, but they're going to design their life. Instead of them being the actor, they're going to be the producer. So when 2021 come in, they're going to know who they are, and they're going to change their whole entire life when it comes to their finance, when it comes to the relationship with their family, their spiritual life. They're going to be a whole complete person, so God can help them about their purpose that He has already put within the inside of them. Looking forward for our first class on October 19th. Yes, that Monday.
So everybody mark your calendars, be ready for that. Again, you can go on Facebook and probably Instagram, Tammy. Maybe
You can go on
Instagram.
Facebook. My assistant, she does put it on Instagram, but you can go to Facebook, In the Vision Book Club, and sign up. You can go to my website, visionbookclub.com, and you can sign up there on the coaching for the coaching program. And what comes in the coaching program, you'll get you'll get the book one, then you get the 1 hour session of coaching, group coaching, and then you also get in the free coaching private group that we will have on Facebook. So where we share together our concepts and just get to work together. And I'm excited about creating vision with these ladies that we're going to do. And my goal is that when they come out of the class, that they will actually start their own coaching class, being a vision coach too.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. Can you imagine how first quarter of 2021 is going to be with all of those women? Powerful. Oh,
Yes.
powerful. Getting that year launched in 2021.
Yeah, and then we'll have a vision conference that we will do in 2021. And so as many ladies who can get to create their vision and truly do it, and be intentional about their life, they're gonna change people's life, because that's what the book is all about.
Yes.
Is you working on yourself so you can be able to help somebody else.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. So you see all the great things coming up in the future that's going to be available to whosoever will. I know within this hour that we've been talking, we have created some aha moments. Something, give people something to think about their life. You know, we can't just exist. We have to live. There's a difference in that, existing and living. Existing is just going along doing what everybody else is doing, you know, and never understanding that our life was given to us for purpose, for a purpose here on this earth. And we need to find that purpose and then live it out, live out that purpose. And that's where true joy and happiness comes, when you can live out the purpose for your life and give back instead of always expecting me. Everything in your life changes when you change that kind of attitude about your life. Well, I had a couple other questions I wanted to ask Tammy. Let me see if I can go back over here. Memory won't let me remember them, so I had to write them down, Tammy. So let me go back over here, and I apologize for my green screen. Our power just went off, so everything just shut down. I said, "Oh no!" So my I had this beautiful Miami green screen behind me, and everything left. So I didn't even try to get it back. But yes, let's see what else we were talking about. Some of the other things that I wanted to ask you about in your book was two more topics, and I've written a whole page of questions here. Now I can't find that question, so please forgive me. But I remember we had a conversation about the difference of inspiration versus intellect. Inspiration versus intellect. You can go through a bookstore, right, and find all kinds of books on every topic. That's intellect. But inspiration comes directly from your creator. So people need to know the difference when they're going through the bookstore looking for information to change their lives or to teach them how to do something. There's a difference. And when you pick that book up, you should feel something. Feel that book is different from some of the other books that might be talking about vision too. I'm serious. I had to learn this my own self. And now when I go to the bookstore, how to choose Everything is online now, but that you must learn how to choose those books that will speak into your life and your purpose. And the Vision Book Club book, Vision Within book, is one of those books that will speak into your life, change your life, change your family's life, change your children, your friendships. It's just going to enhance every aspect of your life. So I want you to just rush out and go get it and make it be a bestseller, #1 bestseller. And I mean that from my heart. I mean that from my heart. Um, I want to see that happen. Well, how do we close this, Tammy?
Well, I just want to say thank you to Nikita Wallace because she is a visionary. She
Yes.
saw vision and it happened. And this is where you all can already have an example what vision looks like.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It started when he was in college with a concept. And then that concept was birthed and manifested here today that she is known in the city as Winston-Salem Fashion Week organizer. And that it is bringing fashion to our city. It is helping people to have vision about fashion when they didn't have it.
Yes.
Okay. So that's something that you already get a glimpse of that you have seen. So what the Within book does, it has you to again design your life, begin to open up to see what's on the inside of you, just like Nikita did. And she pulled it out and she birthed it out and she believed it. And then she started doing it, and then it is manifested, and now it's been accomplished.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what I will leave with you. And if you want deeper into your life, if you want to go to the next level of your life, if you want to be unstuck and change your mindset, your financial status, then I would say go to visionbookclub.com and sign up for the coaching program that is going to take place on October the 19th, because some lives are going to be changed. Some businesses are birthed out. Books are going to be birthed out. Business are going to be birthed out. Talent is going to be birthed out when they come out of this class.
Yeah.
You want to be the one to birth what's already inside of you, your passion, the things that you've been believing for, the things that you've been wanting to do, but you was afraid. Sign up for the coaching program on October the 19th. And I will see you on the other side.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful. There you have it. There you have it. Well, thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Nikita, for allowing me to moderate this event and this hour and a half. I'm so honored to be the moderator and to support you young ladies as you are pursuing your vision. So we look forward to doing this again and seeing everybody on the Vision Book Club. Be sure and follow through, subscribe to, as we said, to YouTube, and just follow Tammy Watson and follow the Winston-Salem Fashion Week. So I guess we're going to say goodbye. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.